I'm gonna make a jacket. Probably. I'm getting coffee absolutely everywhere. Good. So, I have had this fabric for ever. This stuff I've had for over a year, and this stuff I've had for about a year. The intention was always to make some description of jacket with it, and I just never did. But it's March going into April, so now is the time, I think. The plan is to make some kind of shirt jacket. This is going to be outside. This is going to be the lining. I have a shirt already that is massive. I think it's like a double XL that I got years ago, and it's one of my favorite things in the world. It's about the length that I want and like the overall kind of shape, but it's just a little bit too much. There's a little bit too much shirt. And as much as I am a grungy bitch, sometimes I would like to be, 75% more presentable. I have a shirt pattern that I bought last year for a different project. It is the Cameron button-up from Helen's Closet. I made the large, I think. I am not a large. It's a unisex pattern, so I'm probably a small, but we'll see. I want some kind of waist. I don't want an empire waist, and I don't want a regular waist. I want kind of in the middle, a la 2005 Pride and Prejudice. That's kind of the goal. I'm gonna be futzing around with that a little bit. I might switch up the collar a little bit. I might put a touch more fullness in the sleeve around the cuff just to give it a little bit of a bell shape. We'll see. We'll see. It also depends on how much fabric I have, because I can't remember how much fabric I got. I would like it to be mid-thigh, but I'm not calling the shots on that one. My past Jude is calling the shots on how long this is. It's gonna be chaotic. Everything I make is chaotic. Slight change of plan. The size that I need isn't in that set of patterns, so I'm going to have to reprint everything and tape everything together and cut it all out, which I was trying to avoid, but it's probably the same amount anyway. So we're gonna do that now. I made most of the changes I wanted to while I was cutting out the pattern. I added about a printer's page of length to the body and transplanted the top of the bottom back piece to the bottom of the yoke to make a waist. And I also added on an inch to the length of the sleeve so they'd be a little more textured. Not drapey, but kind of wrinkly and cozy while I'm wearing it. And I also didn't alter these bits, the front button placket interfacing and the button placement guide, but one I just had to make longer and the other I did the math for when I was actually doing buttonholes. I was also very close with the amount of fabric that I had, so I had to get a little bit creative with the cutting out bit. I took a brief 2-hour break to finish building this with my dad. So things got a little derailed, but now we have a sick-ass Lego car. Anyway, I haven't eaten at all today, so I'm gonna go get food and then hopefully cut out the lining layer and figure out any figuring out that I need to figure out. And then tomorrow is a new day. can't see any of this because it's dark as hell. I think the only thing that I'm really going to change is taking up the bottom back piece just a touch, because it's doing some weird drapey stuff right now, and I want it, ow, I don't want to stab myself with a pin. I want it to be more like that. And that's literally like maybe 3/8 to half an inch difference. It's not a lot. And then I might take it in the sides a little bit, or I might do a dart on either side in the front. I don't know. Those are all things that I will fight with when I'm actually assembling, because I don't feel like dealing with that right now. I'm gonna go to bed. Okay, I have everything cut out, I think. This is how much fabric I have left, so I better not fuck it up. Yeah, I have everything cut out. I have the lining and the outer pieces put together so that I can essentially just treat them as a single piece of fabric with a right and wrong side. I have also realized that I don't have any thread that I really like to go with this material, and I also don't have any buttons that I like. And I'm debating whether or not I actually want to go to the fabric store to make that happen, because that's like a half-hour walk. And it would be good to get outside, but it's not a nice walk. So we'll see. I have a few things that I have to do before I start assembling everything anyway, so I can delay the inevitable. I have to iron on all the interfacing and clean up the edges a little bit. I can do some assembly on the pockets. I am gonna figure out if I want to put darts in the two front panels now before I get everything sewn together, because putting a double-ended dart into a more or less completed garment sounds like actual hell to me, and I would like to not do that. So I'm gonna go iron some stuff and think about darts and thread and buttons, and that's probably gonna be my next few hours. I ironed on all of my fusible interfacing. Cleaned up the edges. Set up my machine. And started sewing. I've decided to just use thread that I have here. I'm not 100% on it, but it's gonna work, and I don't feel like going to the fabric store. So at this point, I'm basically just following the instructions on the pattern. Yeah, not much to report other than that. Is any of this visible? Oh God, okay. Very precarious. Okay, so I don't know if you can see any of this, but I have the darts slash whatever the hell I have going on here in the front. This guy, I just top stitched them. I didn't have darts in my pattern, and the easiest way for me to get these in the material was to just top stitch it. And you can't even really see it, so that's fine. These guys are just little weird tuck things.
And then I think what I'm going to do is at the same line that I have the tuck, I'm going to take my seam in maybe half an inch, just so it tapers in a little bit. Now I'm going to put the pockets on.
The pockets are so close to being pattern matched, and they don't line up, and it's driving me insane. I wish I'd had enough fabric to be able to pattern match, but I did not. Yeah, this drives me nuts. Can't do it. Can't handle it, but I don't have a choice.
And then I'm going to actually continue on with the instructions that came with the shirt.
So I'm sewing a placket for the first time ever in my life, and this makes me want to scream. I will maybe get a video of me putting in the second one. I'm not gonna lie to you, my life would probably be a lot easier if I, A, followed the instructions correctly, and B, used pins, but I immediately fucked up because I cut the pattern out wrong. And also, I hate pins. All of my pins suck, so I'm not using them. Okay, first one is in. This made me want to murder someone. The thing that I did wrong, I should not have done this. I should have waited to cut that after I had the first bit of the placket sewn on. So that is issue 1. Issue 2 is plackets are hard, and I don't want to do them. Anyway, basically, my workaround for having fucked up is to work from the top, which is not how you're supposed to do this, surprise. I have this very precariously pinned together with the line that I cut that I wasn't supposed to as close together as I can get it, and trying to line up the pattern as much as possible. And in a perfect world, I would just do a 1/2 inch rectangle and then cut up the center. But now I have to, you know, do a 1/4 inch on either side of this line. And it's a little bit persnickety, but we make do. They're done. I never have to think about them again until I do another fucking sleeve placket in a different project. But, hell yeah. The first one actually came out cleaner, probably because I was being more careful. But, the second one went in easier. So I'll take it. Progress, opposite of progress, has also happened. Oh my god. I've done so much seam ripping in the last, like, 36 hours. So I got the twill tape in on the underarm seams just to bind all that up. This is super bulky, so I don't want to use it in the sleeves because there's already not a lot of room in the sleeve. So what I would like to do is use some bias tape that I have already from a previous project. However, I don't have enough of it, So I think what I'm going to do is do the length of the sleeve to about here with the bias tape. That sucked, but it's done now, and now I can finish covering the side seams with the twill tape.
Hooray!
And hopefully I have enough to do both sides of that, and then I'll do the rest of the seam going down in the twill tape. I also picked the weird little dart thing out of the center, not the center, but like the front panels on both sides, because it was doing weird things in the shoulders. It was pulling all this around. Yeah, so this looks better already. But you know what? That's not bad. I take it back. Yeah, you know what? This is going better than I thought it would. I take back my previous statement about not liking this. Okay, so technically I think the next step is getting the cuffs on the sleeves, but the neckline on this thing is shredding apart. So I'm going to try and get the collar in before I have to go to work. At the very least, I want the collar stand on, part of the collar stand on, just so the neckline has something to hold on to. We'll see. We'll see how far I get. It's button time. I hate doing buttons. I've been putting this off. I have the button placement guide from the pattern, but because I added like a solid 8 inches to the length, that's not useless, but it's not going to do the whole job. So I think I'm going to map out where all the buttons are supposed to go with that thing, and then just measure what the space between is, and then add a couple more based on that. I also don't know if I have enough buttons. I hope I do. After finishing the last buttonhole, I realized I had gone down the entire wrong side of the jacket, which meant I had to do it again. Who can say where the road goes? of this in public and I kind of want to die. Whoops. And that's it. It's done. I'm overall pretty happy with it. In retrospect, I wish I'd made it a little more of a trapeze shape, but here we are. Also, I don't know if I would have had enough material for that. Oh well. I really like the twill tape on the inside. I think the contrast is nice. I like the heart buttons. I'm pretty happy with the sleeve plackets. I've never done those before. I think all things considered, they went pretty well. The only major issue is that I am very self-conscious in it because I'm shy, and this is pretty bright. Oh well, I'll grow into it. Anyway, I'm tired of thinking about it and I want to move on to the next project, so that's that. Next time.